We are here at the Qatar World Cup 2022, right in front of the 974 Stadium. I'm Sarah Forster, Deputy News Editor here at The National, and this is a very special edition of A Closer Look. I've got my reporter, Nick Webster, with me. Hey Nick, how's it going?
Hi Sarah, very good, thank you.
Good. So we've been here for about 4 days now.
Yep.
Tell me, what's your feeling on the ground? What's it like to actually be here amongst the hustle and bustle of the World Cup?
Well, I think, as you can see behind us here, 974 Stadium, Ghana, the Black Stars of Africa are getting ready for their tournament entrance with Portugal. You can hear the drums, you can hear the music, you can see the dancing. It's a great example of what it's been like this week. It's been a real carnival atmosphere, lots of fun, and it's been a completely different World Cup really. More families on the ground than I've seen before, people generally going about their business, mingling, different nationalities coming together. It's been a great atmosphere all week.
So it's been 4 days now. This is an unusual World Cup because all the stadiums are so close together. Tell me a bit about how people are getting from one place to the other.
Okay, well this metro system has been built from scratch and it's incredible. It's one of the standout benchmarks, I suppose, of what this World Cup is all about. It's designed to help fans get across the country in super quick time, across the 8 new stadiums that are all really accessible. Al Bayt is a bit further out, you've got to get a bus from the station to the stadium, but apart from that, every single stadium is on the line, so you can jump on the metro and it brings you to a place like this, which is all ready for the next match at 7 o'clock tonight.
So there are a number of different places that fans can stay here, from obviously the very high end. We saw where the England team was staying, didn't we?
Yep.
That was in one of the nicer locations, all the way down to the fan villages. Can you tell me a bit more about them?
Yeah, okay, well the fan villages, it's a real mix of shipping containers, temporary tents. They're all temporary sites, some are better than others. This is what we're saying, this is why the atmosphere is so great here in Qatar. This guy with a vuvuzela comes along and steals the show. But yeah, the accommodation is it's a real broad mix. I mean, some fans have had issues getting into their dormitories. You said you went to see one village and there was a guy there, went into his room, there's already somebody in there. The cleaning has been a bit ad hoc at times.
Hit and miss.
The organisation seems to be a bit hit and miss, but generally speaking the facilities here, they are there, it's just not always manned all the time. They're kind of getting better day by day and they're learning as they go here, which is quite unusual for a World Cup. But Qatar's not used to having this amount of people in the country, for example. Yeah, it's a whole new event for them.
It's definitely, it is a steep learning curve, but it seems to be getting smoother every day. And these shipping containers that are being used as accommodation at these fan villages are also, as I found out the other day, being donated to refugee camps. Once the World Cup is over, they'll be shipped to Syria, Pakistan, countries like that where there's a lot of people in need. And that's a program being done by the Qatari government. So tell me a highlight for you so far. You've only been here 4 days, but which moments stick out in your brain?
Okay, well, on day one, we went to the fan festival for the start of the opening ceremony and Ecuador's game against Qatar, the hosts. So that it kind of starts with a bang, really, trying to get into this huge event. And you could tell that the Qataris are still trying to find a way how to manage the crowds, but it was still a great atmosphere when you got in there. But then it's kind of gathered pace as the week's gone on. Monday morning, the metro was really quiet, and we thought, wow, this is strange for a World Cup. But it was still the first morning of the week, and it's gradually built. Momentum has gradually got faster and faster and bigger as the week's gone on. Highlight for me, I think Saudi Arabia beating Argentina is hard to beat. The atmosphere down at the huge 80,000 seat Lusail Stadium was incredible coming out there. We were both there, all 3 of us were there speaking to fans before, during and after the game, and it was an incredible experience, not just for Saudi Arabia but for the whole Arab world. I think came together for that match, sort of rather than beating one of the tournament favourites and giving Messi a lesson in how to play football, which who would have thought that 2 weeks ago.
And with regards to like snags and things, what do you think has where do you think could be improved? What are you hearing about? Because obviously not everything isn't going super smoothly. What are you hearing about problems that people are having on the ground here?
Okay, we saw at the England-Iran game on the second day at Khalifa International Stadium there's an issue with tickets. There's confusion whether it's the FIFA app that had crashed or whether it's the higher fan ID app that was also causing problems, not linking up the tickets with the individual fan ID. But that seems to be getting resolved as the week goes on. There's still glitches. We know people in Dubai and Abu Dhabi are trying to get out here to watch games, trying to get tickets off friends who can't make it. And they're finding it hard to pair up their higher app with their tickets. So that is being resolved as we speak. So there has been teething problems, no doubt about it. The accommodation you mentioned as well. And also where to watch the games. I mean, there's TVs, huge screens all over Doha. none of them are showing the football, which is really strange for a World Cup. I was in Russia and Germany, every coffee shop, every restaurant would have the games on. Not here in Doha, it's not like that. If you're not in the fan zone, you're not in the stadium, you might find it hard to catch the games live, which is quite strange for a World Cup.
And then also we've noticed, haven't we, that there's a huge number of Spanish-speaking people here that might be having trouble trying to sort of get answers to some of their questions.
Yeah, I mean, a fifth of the nations that have qualified for the World Cup are Spanish-speaking nations. We've spoken to Argentinians, people from Ecuador, Costa Rica, and they found it hard speaking to people on the ground to try and resolve these issues with the hire cut that we mentioned. Like simple, like where do you need to go for the accommodation? Although the signpost is great here, lots of people to help you out on your way. They don't all speak Spanish. In fact, very few people speak Spanish here, which has been a real problem for these people. They're trying to find out how they can get the best out of this World Cup.
Yeah. Well, that's it. I'm going to leave it with Nick. What's your prediction for the winner?
I'm sticking with Brazil. Not very exciting, I'm afraid. I think outside of Europe, they're very good, and yeah, they look good to me. So we'll see tonight. We'll play on Serbia tonight, so that'll be a good indicator of how they're getting on this tournament.
I thought you were an England fan. Anyway, it's lucky because there are a lot of Brazilians here. So if that is the case, then Doha will turn into one big party. All right, my money's on Spain personally. Anyway, that's it from us this week. We hope you tune in next week for our next edition of A Closer Look.